What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a bunch of One Piece news that we need to have a little bit of a chat about. We got some good news, some news about which I'm very excited, but I'm going to be honest with you, we need to start off with news which is honestly really disappointing and makes me more than a little bit sad. You see, some images have been shared. All right, some images of some new cards, and I'm sure they're lovely and all of that, but the fact of the matter is, these are very disappointing. Shout out to Orange Samurai over on Facebook for getting these images. And the thing is that what these are cards that tie in with One Piece Odyssey. Oh, brilliant. And here's the problem. Well, I showed you this the other day, and I showed you that there was this tie-in coming. And I told you it was rather exciting. And I made predictions. And I felt good about these predictions. And what I basically said was, and we still don't know, this might still happen, just to be clear. But what I suggested was that we were going to be getting some pack-in cards whereby you bought One Piece Odyssey and you got yourself a couple of promo cards packed in with it. And this was a good prediction, and the reason was extremely simple. Bandai have literally done it for Digimon Survive, and Bandai have literally done it for Dragon Ball Super card game in the Dragon Ball Heroes Switch game. So they've literally done this, and they've actually done it twice before. So it honestly makes perfect sense that they would do this again. And I'm not saying that they're not doing it, but they have gone and revealed this as like, hey, it ties in with One Piece Odyssey. And it may well be that these two cards are what they mean by a tie-in with One Piece Odyssey, and we are in fact not getting a pack-in. We're not getting free cards when we buy One Piece Odyssey. We're just getting these that are just random cards that can be pulled from booster packs, which I don't think is as good. Although I do want to make clear, right, even if it is literally just their tie-in is these cards, which would be massively disappointing, that doesn't make it a bad prediction. It makes it a wrong prediction. Doesn't make it a bad prediction. Just means that it was wrong. And good predictions can be wrong and bad predictions can be right. If you go over to Pokemon, there's an example of a bad prediction being right that drives me absolutely crazy. A little while ago, they showed off this full art ball guy. And full art ball guy is surrounded by a bunch of balls, all of which had cards in the Pokemon trading card game at that time, with the sole exception of Level Ball. And I said, well, that's weird. But the card designers know what's coming. I think we are going to get Level Ball, so that actually Ball Guy will just be surrounded by a bunch of Pokemon balls which are in the game. Because we already had Quick Ball, Pokeball, and Great Ball. And that happened. Now, whether that was a deliberate hint or not, we will never know, but that seemed like a pretty good prediction to me. But then a little bit later, we saw Full Art Melanie, and a bunch of people did the same thing, and they went, oh, well, Melanie's got an Ultra Ball, so that must be a hint that Ultra Ball's coming. And it wasn't. That was ridiculous. Melanie is a character in the video game, and in the video game, the character Melanie uses Ultra Balls. So she had to have Ultra Ball. It was the only ball that would make sense. They weren't hinting at a reprint. They were just making it look right, because the only balls she uses in the game are Ultra Ball, as opposed to Ball Guy, who uses literally all the Pokeballs, so they could have chosen literally any of them, so the choices they made seemed quite significant. But then, of course, Pokemon did reprint Ultra Ball, and a bunch of people were like, ha ha ha, I was right. And no, it was a bad prediction. It was a bad prediction based off bad information. You just happened to be right. There we go, that's that rant over. Point is, these cards are coming, but if this is all we're getting, I'm a bit disappointed. Now, what we've got is Lim. And Lim comes through, free cost, 2,000 power, red character with blocker. And on your opponent's turn, when this card is KO'd, give one of your opponent's characters or leader minus 2,000 power during this turn. It's not terrible. It's a blocker that then lowers one of your opponent's power, meaning one of their attacks probably doesn't get through. It's the equivalent of kind of you countering 2,000 while blocking another attack. You kind of stop 2 attacks in one. You block 1 attack, but then you nerf one of their characters. So the first attack doesn't work because it's blocked, and then the next attack doesn't work because you nerfed it. And actually, that's kind of cool. I like that. But also, right, by the same token, it's not amazing. And it's not a promo, and it makes me sad. We've also got Adio here. 4 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And Don X1, when attacking, your opponent cannot activate blocker on characters with 2,000 power or less during this battle. And we know there are a few of them around. I did translate these myself, but I did then check with Helio from the Discord. So shout out to them. But I do want it on the record that I did translate these myself and I actually had them right. And I'm honestly very, very happy about this. So, yeah, they're just from OP03. It's honestly, like, legitimately upsetting to me. And I'm not saying we're not getting a tie-in with Odyssey, because I don't know that that's true. But I can tell you they were like, hey, there's a tie-in coming, and the tie-in really suggested there were 2 cards. And then they've got to make a real point of showing off these 2 cards that tie into Odyssey. So I'm starting to think there isn't going to be, and that honestly makes me genuinely, legitimately sad. Hey-ho. There is some better news out there, though, ladies and gentlemen, and that makes me happy. Remember that playmat I showed you the other day that's coming over in Japan? Well, it turns out that has now been officially revealed, and it's got a release price of $35 US. And a release date of Q2 2023. But what we can do is go over to some distributor websites, and they don't actually have a proper release date for this. They've got it listed as June, which isn't ideal, if I'm honest with you, but it's at least better. It's not great. It's better. It's a bit more specific. I'd quite like it if they could get even more specific. But as it is, we got Q2 on the official website, June on the distributor website. Of course, June is the very end of Q2, so don't be expecting this in April or May, I think is where we're going. But hey, we got an official playmat. It looks pretty cool. Will I spend $35 on it? Dunno. If I end up playing a Luffy deck, however, yeah, probably. Now, we've also got news of some storage boxes coming. Now, these don't seem to be premium Bandai. These are just getting a general release. And what we've got here is $8. Coming out in Q2. Coming out in Q2 for $8. For what it's worth, I've got a distributor listing here, again, of June for both of these. So I'm assuming, again, we're talking about June. Don't know for certain, but that seems like a pretty good prediction here. And we've got one that's just got Don written in a bunch of various colours. And we've got one which is really the One Piece TCG image, but in black. It's on the back of the card. It's all over the card game. And I know it's a One Piece thing generally, but this thing really has been plastered all over the card game since the inception of the card game. So yeah, I'll be honest with you, right? If you want to get a box that looks like a storage box for the One Piece card game, yeah, these look pretty gosh darn good. And honestly, $8, yeah, I could definitely see myself getting a couple of these to store my collection in. And the last thing I want to talk about here is kind of weird news. An official apology has gone up on the official website. Important notice, starter deck worst generation contained incorrect information. We regret to announce that the packaging of Starter Deck Worst Generation contained incorrect information. We sincerely apologise for any inconvenience caused to our customers and other concerned parties. What they did was they listed Scalpel as having 4 copies and Repel as having 2. It is in fact the other way round. You get 2 Scalpel and 4 Repel. The packaging will be revised for the resale of this product scheduled for summer 2023. We apologise again for any inconvenience caused by this error, and thank you for your understanding. Whoa, does that mean that in a few years' time, the version of this with the wrong counts on is going to be super crazy, rare, and valuable? Probably not. It's a booster pack packaging or a starter deck packaging. I suppose there's a chance, but do you want to go buying a bunch of these starter decks just on the off chance? honestly, like, I don't. And this is not big news. It's kind of interesting news, if I'm honest with you. It's not particularly big news. I just find it kind of interesting and fun and thought I'd share it with you. So I have. There we go. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about the playmat, about the starter deck. I want to know if you are, and about, this news about the starter deck, well, correction. And I want to know what you think about these promos or lack thereof, and whether you are as upset as I am. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the woopsy. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Woopsy Plays.